So in this episode of Beyond the Surface TV, we'll be joining Trey Mikell way back in the marsh creeks of the Nature Coast, where no one goes but poling boats and airboats. We'll be stalking big redfish on mud flats, and it is going to be a blast. You know, I was thinking on the way to the ramp this morning to meet you, I was thinking about how in normal life in this area, in this specific zone, if you will, you know, you think, all right, so we got low tide, we're gonna get out here on low water, we're gonna pick up the flood tide, and we're gonna work our way into the back. And then this morning, showing up and hearing your thoughts, I learned that we were gonna do things the other way around. Yep. We was gonna go all the way into the back, and then we was gonna go further back as the tide dropped.
Right.
That threw me for a loop for a little bit, but watching you do it, it made sense under the circumstances of Mother Nature and the tide and the winds and the whole 9 yards that goes into play, you know, planning out your day. Man, Trey, it is always amazing running out of that river and running through these passages and seeing all the destruction that's there as a possibility. I can't wait to see what we get into in here, man. We've already seen some V-wakers and some pushers.
Yep.
Tons of bait, tons of life, no boats.
No traffic.
No traffic.
Should be some happy ones today.
We should be able to make them happy, that's right. And if they're happy, we're happy, and then it's all good. I can't wait to get after it. All right, so really shallow, really hard. Are the fish gonna be, do you expect them to be spooky? Do you think that they're gonna be welcoming? Or what, I mean, what do you think on this presentation with the actual worm body?
I think that they're gonna be up real shallow. They're gonna be in some real unforgiving places. Can't use a lot of weight. It's gonna sink and hang on a rock if not. You know, if they're doing their thing the way they should be, they'll give us something to look at. But that being said, they'll be in about 6 inches of water.
Okay, all right. So that's what I'm gonna go, like we chatted about. I'm gonna go with weightless first. Just a little dark body to make it look like some of these mullet that's around them all the time.
Yep.
And I'm gonna try my very best. I want you to know this up front and center. I'm gonna try my very best not to mess up.
I got faith in you.
All right.
I'm playing the tide level, I'm playing how it is, I'm playing wind direction first and foremost, but the fish are in a comfortable zone, and the way that I go about it, we have to be able to see them most of the time. So you gotta be where you can see in a foot of water. You know, farther to the outside on a lower water, you'd be able to see in a foot of water. Towards the outside this morning, it would have been 4 foot deep, you can't see in that. So you gotta go farther in till you find, you know, shallower water to be able to see in. And then you trail that depth, whether the tide's going out or the tide's going in. You trail that depth basically the whole day.
All that pocket right there is just all, here he is, Danny, right beside us back here.
Oh.
Go ahead and get it and start another one. He's kind of working his way towards the point still. Slow, bring it. A 25 incher. Coming at you right there, maybe. See that little domed up piece? Left side?
Yeah.
Coming right at you right now. Bring it back. You're behind him. Come on. I'll go slow in there. Keep going. Get him. He ate it.
That's what that was. Yeah, he just jumped out there and grabbed it and went at me a couple of feet.
Yeah.
Made me think for a second.
That's how I knew he ate it. I seen him wake up.
Seen him wake up, but we had a couple of them do that earlier,
Yeah,
and it was more of a not waking up but running. Nice, good eye. All right. Simmer down. There he goes. Nice job, Trey. Good eye, buddy.
Bump it, bump it, bump it, bump it. Get him.
Nice job. Good eyes.
Go low.
That's the cool part about them. When you're so shallow, they get so wild and crazy because they can't go up or down.
Yep.
They can only go left and right. Ain't too much.
Oh my God, there's one right here.
It's down in the real good goody. There it is.
A little bigger.
Yeah. Put an inch or so on it, maybe half.
Nice work.
I caught myself a couple times a day when we was poling around and moving through your backyard, so to speak, and thinking about the name of the show and where the name of the show came from, the Beyond the Surface. First off, there wasn't a whole lot beyond the surface.
No,
It was
there wasn't a whole lot of water.
It was a very minute piece.
Yep.
There wasn't a whole lot to search for in that aspect here today. But in a nutshell, though, in another thought process per se, let's put our brain somewhere else for a minute. When I came up with the name Beyond the Surface, it had some different meanings, and you really, in your everyday life and how you've built your charter service, you've solidified that thought process. And what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of folks get really worked up about going out on the water and just worrying about how many fish they catch, how many fish they keep, just fill in the freezer, you know, all of those sayings, you know what I mean? Somewhere in your days, you know, you have growing up and growing into a man, so to speak, you know, if you will, you found yourself a direction in what you wanted your guide service to be about and to be like. I think there's a lot of connection there with my thought process with Beyond the Surface TV. I want Beyond the Surface TV to be something that people watch and they take away more than fishing, more than how many we
Right.
would catch. You know, the experience, the learning, all of those little pieces that come along, the memories that come along with a fishing trip that a lot of people simply overlook. It just goes right over their head and they don't realize it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, the old saying, you know, she thinks we're just fishing, things of that nature. All those pieces is where Beyond the Surface come from, along with obviously studying below the surface to learn about every fish there's out there. I really and truly have always looked up to you as you've started and grown to the fact that you could have easily just slid right into a nutshell, if you will,
Right.
and followed right in behind somebody else and did whatever somebody else did to earn money and something you love to do. You know, that's the cut and dry of it. But you didn't, and I've always had a very deep respect for you for knowing it wasn't going to be an easy road, knowing it wasn't going to be something that you just snapped your fingers and you went out and you fell in and you started copying somebody or you started learning from somebody and you just went in there and started making money immediately doing the same thing somebody's done for 30 years.
Right.
Oh my God.
Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. Slow, little bumps. Get him.
Yeah, boy. Nice job. There was at least 3 of them sitting there.
Them other 2 were studs.
Yeah, the usual. The little fella's got to be the fastest one. That's all right though, and eat is an eat.
Told you they'd be right there.
You was right, buddy, you was right. He ain't small.
No, he ain't small, but them other ones were big ones. They were glowing too.
Woo!
Good eye.
Thank you, sir, thank you, sir. Love it when a plan comes together. I'm gonna put a little click on this. I feel like he's either bigger than he looks or he's just sassy because he keeps busting that drag loose. I don't want to be.
They will grow a little bit right now. Take him and attorney.
Yep. He looks like the right one.
Through the eyeball, he ain't coming off.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This hook don't miss, but it don't come out easy.
No, it don't. It don't.
It don't just let go neither. Catch 22. There we go.
26 incher.
That's a damn fine one there, Bo. Happy. That one's pretty blue in there. Me and you saw him about exactly the same time, and then we seen his buddies.
They're all traveling together. Nice work. I've always loved to be where nobody else was. I didn't want to be in the scene in town. I didn't want to be, you know, fishing around other people. We're in some of the wildest country that's left in the state of Florida right now. We haven't seen anybody all day. I just always liked to do what people were not doing. And, you know, in the beginning, and you knew me when I first got started guiding, it was not easy. I was told that there was no way it was going to be possible to do. I'm not going to say any names on camera, but I think we all know who the names are. It was one of those deals where I had the odds against me, and I basically I sold the fish. I didn't sell myself. I sold the fish. I made good content of good fishing. You know, I showed how easy it could be. I showed also that there was screw ups and that it doesn't always work, but it's, like you said, it's 50-50 part of the atmosphere that we're in right now. You're not gonna get a lot of this anymore. It's going away, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole thing about the sight fishing, that came along slowly. It got to where we were just power fishing for a long time. You're just throwing plugs, throwing all that, and then finally you get to where you start getting a little better at seeing them, or you start to figure out what they're doing. Every day I'm still learning. You can't stop learning. Never ends.
Nope. You know, you said you sold the fish and you sold the fish. Bubba, I think what you did was you sold an experience.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah. You definitely sold an experience. You told folks, you said, listen, if you'll trust me, I'll take you where nobody's been before, possibly. I guarantee you I'll take you where you've never been before.
Exactly.
And I'll show you fish that will act like they haven't never seen anyone.
Exactly.
Which will up your chances of catching something that you will never forget. Just because of the style and because of the fact that you picked a niche that isn't, like you said a second, it isn't easy. It isn't easy. It's not walking behind somebody else's footsteps, it's making your own. And I got to tell you, man, you did a fine job at making your own footsteps, and they're pretty big ones. You know, when I fish over here, I tell, and some of my clients will watch this probably, I hope, but some of them will watch it and they'll remember me saying this on the boat before. I fish up north of Swanee a lot, and I fished a lot of these zones, not places, but zones that we were in today,
right,
to a certain depth in my earlier days. I tell people all the time, when you're in these creeks, there's something that comes over you when you're in them. It is impossible, literally impossible, to come here, fish these creeks, get far back in them, like we are right now in the middle of nowhere, and not sit there and think about an Indian. Think about what they did back in the day. Think about, you know, when you're turning the corner, you know at any given time when you turn the corner, there's a low spot and a high spot. That low spot's got rock, and that rock could have a giant on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
It goes on over here all day long. It all looks fishy. It all looks like it'll hold a giant, but if you fish enough, you realize not all of it does.
Yep.
But at any turn, you might catch a fish of a lifetime.
For sure. And there's more probability in other spots. That's just where day and day and day and day after, you know, seeing them there once, seeing them there twice, seeing them there. There's only so much coincidence before it's consistency.
Got it. There we go.
Digging.
Dang, come on fish. There we go. You got around some grass for a split second there or something. He's coming in hot.
Looked a lot bigger.
Yeah, he did. He looks. Oh, son, see that?
See that one we just blew off right there?
Yeah. My man Trey, this is some fun, close quarter combat stuff right here.
Yeah, man.
Kind of right, there we go. I was gonna say I couldn't get it unraveled around his brain there. Okay.
Pretty one.
Nothing wrong with that. Gotta love that blue, man. Gosh, dog. So every one of them's different in their own little way. It's kind of like their signature deal between the spot and the blue. Super cool, man. What do you think your biggest fear was that you had to overcome? Your biggest mental obstacle, if you will?
Probably the people who were against me. And they were. I should rephrase that. They weren't against me. They didn't want me to succeed in a way, and that's still saying wrong about the whole thing. I mean, it was just. It's never been done here before, so it never can be done. You know, you're never gonna make a living taking 1 or 2 people out at a time. Just can't do it. That was how it was cut and dry to me, and I just knew better than that. Yeah. You know, and I worked hard. I brought people to places that people had never been before. I chainsawed my way into places that I know for a fact that I'm the first person to ever go in there with a fly rod.
Yeah.
And
in this section of our life.
Yeah, I mean,
in this century.
Exactly. I mean, and if we don't catch one in there, I tell people, well, this is the first time a 4-stroke outboard's been cranked up in here. So, it's been a special place. It's wild country. It takes a different mindset. It takes really destroying the bottom of a boat. It takes a lot of remembering what happened the last time you were in there to be able to make the corrections for the next time to be a little bit more successful. And you still learn, you know, every single time you go into a place. My mind just runs with, I got too many places I want to be at once. Yeah. And you can't do it. You see how far we are in here. It takes you longer to get into places like this than it does to fish the spot.
Yeah.
You know? I never had anybody show me the way. The biggest help I ever got in the beginning of my guiding career was the work that you had sent me in the beginning, and I've always felt like somewhat in debt to you about that. It was a way for me to totally go at it full swing. Some of my biggest clients in the beginning you sent my way because you were busy or however it worked, but that's just all part of the deal. It's what got me on a boat every single day, let me pay my bills, and let me guide full-time within 6 months of having my license. Wouldn't trade it for anything in the world now, and still thankful as ever for you for that.
Well, I appreciate that. I couldn't, some of those phone calls you get, and when people, you know, I'm fixing to be 21 years into doing this, and something that I've always toted with me since day one was when somebody calls, I listen, and I try to see if I'm that guy or not.
Right.
And sometimes I'm not that guy. You know, sometimes I'm not, whether I'm busy or not. Sometimes I'm not that guy. And I can remember several people reaching out to me and talking to me, and your name was the first one that comes in. And again, you know me well enough to know that don't come easy.
No, it don't.
I'm not that guy that's just gonna hand somebody something because nobody handed me mine. And
that's right.
And I see a lot of you in me, and I always have. I've always thought to myself, you know, Trey is a lot like me. You know, he's paved his own way. And,
I mean, everything that I know and I do, I trial and error and I learned on my own. There was nobody doing what I do here before.
No.
Doing it on the style of guiding that I do.
Oh, son, there he went. There he went. Got angry. That fish got real angry real fast. You gotta love that. Nice one. Stay up high, baby. Don't go low. There's too much trouble when you go low. Gosh, that's pretty right there, Trey.
pretty spots on him too.
Yep. Looks like I got him hooked in a pretty clean spot there on the left side. Oh, we got a little extracurricular down the ball. Woo! What's the old saying? That don't suck? Man, Trey, that's a beautiful fish right there. Extra spots, big old girls. Laying back here in the back all lazy. Can't beat that. Sitting right there where you said she would be.
Yep.
Waiting on us. Top water come through there. That never gets old.
That's a keep for sure.
Man, I really appreciate you taking me out here, showing me your backyard, dude. Like I said, I've seen a lot of this country, but I haven't seen your country, you know. And I appreciate you pulling me around and showing me some of it. And I can't think of anything else to make a better day. We got to come out here and chit chat a little bit and carry on. And caught a lot of fish. We saw a bunch. I might have missed a few. I might have. There's probably some footage about that. But I'm ready to head to the house, man. If you are, I think we should head on out of here.
I appreciate it, Denny.